We have waited months for this, and now a stunning turn of events in the Maricopa County election audit. Fox 10 News has obtained a draft of the Cyber Ninjas report that will be released tomorrow, and it shows not only did Joe Biden win Maricopa County, he picked up additional votes, and Donald Trump lost votes.
But the report also raises concerns about the county's election systems. Matt Galka reports.
Fox 10 obtained a draft version of the Cyber Ninjas forensic audit report set to be presented to the Senate Friday. We've confirmed through multiple people that the draft report is close to the final version. The Arizona Secretary of State's office told us, quote, they couldn't confirm the authenticity of the documents, but showed us a similar report almost matching exactly to the one that we have. There are seemingly multiple versions out there, but all versions confirm the same thing. Joe Biden got more votes than Donald Trump in Maricopa County. The draft copy we obtained tallied up the presidential race and then compared it to the Maricopa County official count from November. The Cyber Ninjas forensic audit shows Biden actually got 99 more votes during their audit count, and Trump received 261 less votes after the recount. The report from the Secretary of State's office showed the same thing. The draft report is about 110 pages with a number of recommendations for legislation to address perceived errors. Draft spokesman Randy Pullen confirmed to us that the report was close, but he said there were enough anomalies in their findings that they still need answers to. Matt Galka, Fox 10 News.
Okay, and on that point, Maricopa County's election systems and processes will come under some intense scrutiny tomorrow. They're going to present the findings tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the state Senate. And they will look into things right down to the security of passwords that were shared by elections workers that were, according to my sources, not unique and ridiculously simple. Maricopa County tweeting about the draft report of Cyber Ninja's findings. They're trying to put the best spin on it, saying it confirms the county's canvass of the 2020 election. General election was accurate, and the candidate certified as the winner did, in fact, win. Unfortunately, the report is also littered with errors and faulty conclusions about how Maricopa County conducted the 2020 general election. So this is going to be a point of contention going forward. Finally, Maricopa County saying board members and elections officials will pay close attention to what is said at Friday's scheduled Senate hearing and share facts as needed.
Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chair Jack Sellers also sending out a statement as well, saying the audit confirms the candidates certified as the winners did in fact win, adding, quote, this means the tabulation equipment counted the ballots as they were designed to do, and the results reflect the will of the voters. That should be the end of the story. Everything else is just noise. He goes on to say, tomorrow I suspect we will be accused once again of not cooperating, failing to fill holes in the knowledge of the Senate's chosen contractor. How could we cooperate with an inquiry that was led by people who have no idea how to run any election, let alone one in the second largest voting district in the United States, end quote. Senate President Karen Fann and the Cyber Ninjas both declined to comment on this tonight, but stay with Fox 10 for more on these results. We'll have full coverage of that presentation on the Senate floor tomorrow. Again, it's expected at 1 o'clock.